I like JT Miller going to the Rangers, but I think the Rangers gave up too much. They gave up a first-round draft pick. They gave up Mancini, who's a really good, and he's a good player. Victor Mancini is a good young defenseman. I think he's got a tremendous amount of speed. He's a good defensive player. I think the Rangers gave up too much for a guy like JT Miller, who is a good player. If the Rangers loved him so much, why did they let him go?
That was a long time ago.
That doesn't matter. Why? If they loved him so much,
different administration of the Rangers,
different management,
and I don't think the Canucks got enough. You think the Rangers? Not even close.
Oh, I think you're wrong.
It wasn't a good enough trade because of the factor of JT Miller had a no trade clause. It was not going to waive it unless it was an Eastern Conference team. They were limited.
Okay. And right now,
he immediately dominated his first game.
But because of one game, you watched one game. By the way, they lost. He dominated, scored 2 goals,
you can't
and
say
they
Brian
lost.
Lindgren and Keandre Miller.
It wasn't his fault.
Stop.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Speedy, you're a Ranger fan. What do you think of that trade?
I thought the price might have been a little high, but I don't
think. You think that's high?
I think a little high.
What are you smoking?
A little high.
Smoking?
We Rangers fans love Chytil. That's why. Chytil was good.
Concussion injury syndrome.
Now I'm good with it.
I'm good with you, Mikey C.
Chytil over one of their top prospects. I was good with that part of it. I heard that Vancouver was going in on a lot of.
They wanted Schneider plus.
I was good on them doing Chytil over those guys. So that part of the trade I was okay with. I think the defensive depth, like getting more to that, we saw them get that with Borgen to try to get the depth going is fine as well. I thought it wasn't terribly pricey, but I don't think it was like
not even close.
I think it was high. I wouldn't go as far as steal. I wouldn't go as far as
steal for the Rangers. The only bad
first line center
is that Miller, JT Miller signed so long and he's already 30 that hopefully you try to get something done within the next 4 years.
We'll see.
Well, they have him under contract for 3 more years after this year. I saw, which was the $8.5 million contract that he got. I forget if it was the Vancouver or at the end of his Tampa tenure, but they still have him under contract, which is fine. I didn't love the price. They're not JT Miller away from being an instant contender again. They're a playoff team probably in this cluster that's in the Eastern Conference right now, but I still don't know if they're done with that.
I can't believe you're going to sit here and tell me. I'm looking at Miller's numbers. It's ridiculous. You're going to sit here and tell me
80-point player.
He's an 80-point player. How many years?
Many.
How many?
No,
yes.
he's getting
no, he's not. 1, 2, 3. 3 years. 3 years.
Of the last 4.
Give me a break. Stop it.
He's an elite center in the NHL.
He hasn't been that player, but
he's not an elite
when he got
they had a falling out in Vancouver leading to him leaving.
He's not an elite.
A better player. He's not elite. He's very good. He's a very good
Rangers.
I think the Rangers.
He wins faceoffs. He does check.
I think the
Rangers. That's elite.
Too much for him. I think they gave up too much for him. We'll see. I disagree. I look at Vancouver. Good, you'll take him and you'll fail like they always do. And Chris Drury will be gone at the end of the season, and so will Peter Laviolette.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it for the Rangers for clogging up that cap space. That's about it.
I don't think it's a good
trade. But JT Miller is the better player.
I disagree.
By far.
I disagree. I think everybody that gets traded to Vancouver, they all transition and become very good players. And I
wouldn't disagree if Chytil didn't have concussion injury.
I don't think it's going to be a problem over there. And Victor Mancini and a first-round pick. Oh man, that's a better deal for me.
What is Victor Mancini?
I've heard.
Have fun with the pick.
I've talked to 2 talent evaluators about this, and one of them I know very, very well. He's worked with a lot of defensemen here on Long Island, and he told me Mancini is so underrated. And
he's a nice player.
The Rangers should have called him up. The Rangers should have called him up because they have so many right-handed defensemen. They couldn't call him up, and now they're going to watch this guy develop.
So if that's the case, then why didn't they trade Schneider, who Vancouver originally wanted?
I'm sorry,
Brandon Schneider. Is Vancouver who they originally wanted?
I don't know.
I mean, Will Borgen jumped Schneider.
I'll take Victor Mancini.
So I would.
If I were the Islanders, I would have made that trade, and I would have taken Victor Mancini. I watched him play in the preseason when I got a chance to watch the kid. He's got a tremendous shot. He's a good defenseman. He's fast. He has the ability.
Come on, you can't compare Victor Mancini to Tony D'Angelo.
Wow.
Tony D in the house. What a reference.
D'Angelo is better, so I'm just saying
that. I got to say this, though. The Rangers had to make this.
They're playing well.
They needed a center. But that was their fatal flaw. They didn't have a centerman that they could trust. Mika Zibanejad, before last night, because he scored last night, Speedy, we were talking about in the meeting, minus 26th in the which is second worst in the NHL as their starting first line centerman. You can't have that, Errol. You know that. That guy cannot be anywhere near the first line. Look, he'll be in the first line power play.
One bad season?
You don't want him to be your first line centerman if he's playing like this.
Wait a minute. He has one bad season. The whole team is playing bad.
There's been, but look, he's been having inconsistencies last couple of years. It's been trending this way.
Right,
the conference finals.
I understand, but it wasn't because of Zibanejad. Zibanejad was up and down last year, trust me. And this year it's mostly down. We think he can still wake up, but
Zibanejad's having a bad, the whole team is having a bad year.
They're not that. Look, they're not as good as they were. Obviously.
Are you serious? You're telling me they're not having a bad season? Is Chris Kreider? No. Is Zibanejad? He's having a horrible year. Aaron Fox, I think, has what, 3 goals?
Yeah.
He's got 40 points and 3 goals. 40 points though. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Errol, you're right. He's not the best defensive guy, but offensively, Fox is fine. The problem that the Rangers had is up the middle, and now they solve it with Miller, and now they're a much better team.
They don't know anything. They don't know puck.
People are comparing him to Brian. Brian Leetch was a good two-way player. I skated with Brian Leetch. He's not Brian Leetch.
Well, Brian Leetch is one of the greatest of all time.
Fox is not even top 5 in the league.
He's not even close.
Oh, I disagree.
Adam Fox is one of the more overrated. I like him. I met him. He's a good kid. He comes from a good family. I love everything about his personality. He is not one of the top 5 defense players in the league.
Not even close.
He is an offensive defenseman.